From the moment we take our first steps into society, we are subtly, and sometimes overtly, conditioned to equate our worth with the size of our social circles. Popularity, we're told, is the golden ticket to fulfillment. The bustling crowds, the countless connections, and the adoration of many are seen as the pinnacle of success. Yet, what if this belief is not just misleading but deeply flawed? What if the truest form of confidence and resilience doesn't lie in the noise of the crowd, but in the profound silence of solitude? Imagine this: a man who walks alone through life, not because he has been cast aside, but because he chooses to walk a path free from the clutter of superficial relationships. This man is not lonely. He is resolute. He does not crave validation because he has built an unshakable foundation of self-worth. His strength is not derived from the applause of others, but from the quiet, inner conviction that he is enough. It is this strength, born in solitude, that the world often misunderstands but secretly envies. To those who study Stoicism and the timeless wisdom of ancient philosophy, this paradox is not unfamiliar. The Stoics taught us that true power comes from mastering ourselves, not from controlling the opinions or affections of others. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, often reflected on the fleeting nature of external validation and reminded himself that the only fortress worth building is the one within. To embrace solitude, then, is not to shun the world, but to transcend its illusions. This journey is not easy. To stand apart, to resist the pull of shallow connections and empty praise, is to challenge deeply ingrained societal norms. Yet, for those willing to walk this path, the rewards are profound. A life rooted in authenticity, guided by clarity, and strengthened by the kind of confidence that no storm can shake. Are you ready to challenge the narrative? To step away from the crowd and into a space where true growth and self-discovery await? This is the journey of solitude, not as isolation, but as the gateway to unbreakable inner strength. From an early age, we are immersed in a narrative that links happiness with popularity and equates a full social calendar with a fulfilled life. The imagery is pervasive, laughter echoing in crowded rooms, smiling faces captured in perfect snapshots, and a constant hum of interaction that promises belonging. But beneath the surface of this vibrant facade lies a troubling question. Are these connections truly enriching, or are they mere shadows of something deeper we long for but cannot name? The pursuit of social validation is an exhausting cycle, one that can leave even the most sociable among us feeling hollow. Like actors on a stage, we perform roles designed to please others, hoping for applause in the form of likes, compliments, or fleeting approval. Yet, this applause is fickle, often silenced by a single word of criticism or the sting of being overlooked. When the performance ends, we're left with the unsettling realization that our worth has been tethered to something fragile and fleeting: the opinions of others. Social media has magnified this dilemma, transforming the need for approval into a daily ritual. Hours slip away as we craft carefully curated versions of ourselves, chasing the dopamine rush of digital recognition. Yet, the validation we seek never truly satisfies. It's a mirage, enticing but unattainable, leaving us more disconnected from our true selves with every passing interaction. Studies reveal that despite being more connected than ever, people today report higher levels of loneliness and dissatisfaction, a paradox born from our misplaced priorities. This relentless chase for approval doesn't just drain us, it distracts us from what truly matters. How many of these connections are genuine? How many would stand beside you in moments of profound loss or vulnerability? The truth is sobering. Many of the relationships we cultivate for validation lack the depth to weather life's storms. In seeking the approval of the many, we risk losing touch with the few and, more importantly, with ourselves. What if this entire paradigm is a lie? What if the path to fulfillment doesn't lie in multiplying acquaintances, but in cultivating authenticity? By breaking free from the illusion of social validation, we step off the never-ending treadmill of performance and into a space where true confidence resides. It is here, in the quiet, that we begin to rediscover our worth, not as something given by others, but as something intrinsic and unshakable. The journey is not easy, but for those who embrace it, the rewards are immeasurable: clarity, strength, and the profound freedom of knowing that who you are is enough. The word solitude often evokes unease, conjuring images of isolation, emptiness, or even failure. We've been taught to fear being alone, as though solitude is a punishment rather than a choice. Yet, those who truly understand its nature know that solitude is not an absence. It is a presence. It is the fertile ground where personal growth takes root, where the noise of the world fades, and the whispers of our inner voice grow louder. To those drawn to Stoicism and the wisdom of ancient philosophy, solitude is not something to escape but a gateway to profound self-discovery. In solitude, we confront ourselves. The distractions we use to avoid our fears and insecurities fall away, leaving us face to face with our true nature. It is here, in the quiet, that we find the strength to examine our flaws, reflect on our values, and wrestle with the questions that shape who we are. This process is not always comfortable. The silence can feel daunting, even unnerving, as it forces us to acknowledge the parts of ourselves we'd rather ignore. But it is through this discomfort that we grow. Strength is not forged in the absence of struggle, but in the willingness to face it head-on. History is filled with examples of individuals who embraced solitude and emerged transformed. The Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius, amid the chaos of ruling an empire, sought solace in his private reflections. His meditations are a testament to the power of introspection, offering insights that have endured for centuries. Artists, philosophers, and thinkers throughout time have retreated into solitude, not to escape the world but to understand it, and themselves, more deeply. Their moments of stillness birthed ideas and perspectives that changed the course of history. Solitude, however, is not synonymous with loneliness. Loneliness is a longing for connection, a feeling of being adrift and unseen. Solitude, in contrast, is a deliberate choice to be with oneself. It is a space of empowerment, where we learn to rely on our own judgment and cultivate an inner strength that does not waver with external circumstances. It allows us to shed the masks we wear for others and see ourselves with clarity and honesty. As we spend more time in solitude, a transformation occurs. We become less dependent on external validation and more grounded in our own worth. Our confidence begins to flow not from the approval of others, but from the quiet certainty of knowing who we are. Like a tree deeply rooted in the earth, we remain steady amid life's tempests, drawing strength from within. This is the power of solitude, not a withdrawal from the world, but a return to oneself, a foundation upon which an unshakable life is built. In a world that idolizes networking and celebrates popularity, the idea of maintaining a small, intimate circle of connections may seem counterintuitive. Yet, those who have embraced Stoic principles and ancient philosophy understand a profound truth. The value of relationships lies not in their quantity, but in their depth. A life filled with surface-level connections may appear vibrant, but it often lacks the substance to provide true support, meaning, or growth. Picture a man surrounded by hundreds of acquaintances, his days filled with brief exchanges and shallow interactions. Now, imagine another man who counts only a handful of people as true friends, relationships marked by trust, mutual respect, and shared values. Who is richer in the currency of life? The answer becomes clear when we consider the essence of authentic connection. It is not the number of people who occupy your social sphere, but the quality of the bonds you share with those few who truly know and understand you. Authentic relationships act as mirrors, reflecting our true selves and challenging us to grow. They are forged not through convenience or superficial gestures, but through the trials of life, the moments of vulnerability, hardship, and triumph that reveal who we are. These connections demand effort, honesty, and courage, but the rewards are immeasurable. In the presence of such friends, we feel seen, valued, and accepted for who we are, not for what we can offer or how we perform. A small circle of trusted individuals also provides a sanctuary in a world driven by constant comparison and competition. While shallow connections can amplify insecurity and the need for validation, meaningful relationships ground us. They remind us of our inherent worth, independent of external achievements or societal expectations. Within this circle, we find the strength to pursue our goals, take risks, and face challenges with resilience, knowing we are supported by those who truly matter. The Stoics remind us that to cultivate such relationships, we must be discerning. Marcus Aurelius urged us to be content with fewer people, those who share your values. This is not a call to isolation but a challenge to seek quality over quantity, to build relationships that nurture our character and enrich our lives. It requires saying no to the distractions of fleeting connections and yes to the depth that comes from investing in those few who align with our values and aspirations. Ultimately, a small, carefully chosen circle of relationships reinforces inner security. It creates a foundation of trust and support that enables us to stand firm, even when faced with life's uncertainties. With this foundation, we no longer need the approval of the masses, nor are we swayed by every passing opinion or trend. Instead, we walk a meaningful path, surrounded by those who truly enrich our journey. Through their companionship, we discover the profound truth that strength, like connection, is found in quality, not quantity. To live a life rooted in solitude and authenticity is to challenge the very fabric of modern society. From the moment we step into the world, we are told that constant connectivity and an ever-expanding network are the hallmarks of success. Our worth, it seems, is measured by the number of invitations we receive, the events we attend, and the followers we accumulate. Yet, beneath this relentless push for social integration lies a profound truth. Conformity often comes at the cost of individuality. To walk a path of solitude is to resist this tide, and such resistance demands courage. Society often paints solitude as a weakness, an indication of failure or exclusion. The solitary individual is misjudged as antisocial or aloof, someone who cannot fit into the mold of collective expectations. But this narrative is not just misleading, it is deeply flawed. Solitude is not the absence of connection, it is the presence of self-awareness. It is a deliberate choice to step away from the noise and reclaim a sense of clarity and purpose. Those who embrace solitude are not running from society. They are finding the strength to navigate it on their terms. This path, however, is not without challenges. To prioritize solitude is to face misunderstanding, judgment, and even ridicule. The world often struggles to comprehend those who value introspection over interaction, depth over superficiality. It can feel like swimming against a powerful current, where every choice to step back from societal expectations is met with resistance. But as the Stoics teach us, the road to true fulfillment is rarely the easy one. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that the opinions of others are fleeting and irrelevant compared to the pursuit of inner peace and purpose. To succeed in this endeavor, one must cultivate resilience and self-awareness. It begins with understanding your values and aligning your actions with them. What truly matters to you? What principles guide your decisions? This clarity acts as an anchor, keeping you steady amid the chaos of societal pressures. Equally important is the ability to set boundaries, to say no to what does not serve your growth and yes to what nurtures your authenticity. Every rejection of societal norms that conflict with your values is an affirmation of your commitment to yourself. As you continue down this path, something remarkable begins to happen. The need for external validation diminishes, replaced by a profound sense of freedom. You begin to make choices not out of fear of judgment, but out of alignment with your true self. This is the essence of inner security, the ability to stand firm even when the world questions your choices. Paradoxically, this quiet confidence draws others to you. Not those who demand conformity, but those who value authenticity. In this way, solitude does not isolate you. It attracts the kind of connections that truly matter. To navigate a society that misunderstands solitude is to embrace a path of strength and purpose. It is to prioritize the depth of your character over the breadth of your connections. And though it may be a path less traveled, it is one that leads to a life of clarity, integrity, and unshakable inner peace. True security is a rare and quiet strength, unshaken by the turbulence of external judgments or the fleeting opinions of the crowd. It is not found in accolades, the size of one's social circle, or the frequency of applause. Instead, it resides in the man who stands firm in his identity, unburdened by the need to prove himself to the world. This kind of confidence is not loud or boastful. It is grounded, resolute, and unmistakable. The secure man understands that his worth is intrinsic, independent of external validation, and rooted in his unwavering commitment to his values. The Stoics often spoke of this quiet strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." This paradox captures the struggle of those who seek validation from others instead of cultivating self-assurance. A secure man, however, breaks free from this trap. He does not measure his value by the fleeting approval of others, but by the depth of his convictions and the integrity of his actions. His confidence flows from within, nurtured by self-awareness and reinforced through purposeful solitude. This inner security transforms the way he approaches life. He no longer feels the compulsion to chase every opportunity for connection or to conform to societal expectations. He understands that his time and energy are precious and that spreading them too thin across superficial relationships only dilutes their impact. Instead, he invests deeply in what truly matters: his principles, his purpose, and the handful of relationships that add genuine value to his life. This selectivity is not isolation. It is liberation. Such a man becomes a beacon for others, though he does not seek their admiration. His quiet confidence is magnetic, drawing those who recognize and value authenticity. He inspires by example, showing that true strength comes not from dominance or showmanship, but from a life lived in alignment with one's inner truth. He does not need to compete for attention because he is already at peace with himself. This is the paradox of the secure man. By needing less, he becomes more. In a world that rewards superficiality and thrives on noise, the secure man stands as a reminder of what is possible when we embrace solitude and cultivate authenticity. He faces life's challenges with a calm resolve, unshaken by the opinions of others and unyielding in his pursuit of what truly matters. His quiet confidence is not a gift but a result, a product of choosing depth over breadth, integrity over appearances, and inner peace over external validation. And in that choice lies a power that no storm can shake. The ultimate measure of a secure man is not found in the approval he receives from others or the size of his social network, but in his ability to stand firm in solitude. This strength, though often misunderstood, is not born of isolation for its own sake, but from a deliberate and courageous choice to prioritize self-awareness and authenticity over superficial validation. It is a strength that allows him to face the storms of life with grace and integrity, knowing that his worth is not dictated by external circumstances but rooted in the clarity of his own values and convictions. To embrace solitude is to step into a space where growth and transformation are possible. It is a decision to leave behind the noise of the world, the endless clamor for attention, and the pressure to conform. In solitude, a man finds the time and clarity to confront his fears, explore his potential, and cultivate the self-reliance needed to navigate life with confidence. This process is not easy. It demands courage and discipline. Yet, it is in these quiet moments that the seeds of unshakable strength are sown. The Stoics understood the profound power of solitude. They recognized that true confidence comes not from external accolades, but from the inner fortitude developed through self-reflection. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that the opinions of others are fleeting, a mere whisper in the vastness of time. To live well, he taught, is to focus on what is within your control, your thoughts, actions, and character. Solitude is the crucible in which this philosophy is tested and refined. But solitude is not a rejection of human connection. On the contrary, it enhances the quality of relationships by allowing a man to approach them from a place of strength and authenticity. When a man knows himself, his values, his aspirations, his limits, he becomes a better friend, partner, and leader. He no longer seeks relationships to fill a void, but to share his fullness. This shift from dependency to interdependence transforms his connections, making them richer, deeper, and more meaningful. To those who embrace it, solitude is not a burden but a gift. It is a sacred space where one can reconnect with their truest self, free from the distractions of the world. It is a reminder that strength does not come from the fleeting approval of others, but from the quiet certainty of knowing who you are and what you stand for. As you walk this path, you become a beacon of authenticity, inspiring others not by words but by the quiet power of your example. The man who embraces solitude does not fear being alone because he understands its value. In solitude, he finds clarity. In solitude, he finds peace. And in solitude, he finds the strength to face the world, not as someone seeking validation, but as someone who already knows his worth. The path to inner security is not paved with the approval of others or the constant hum of superficial connections. Instead, it is a journey inward, a deliberate choice to embrace solitude, cultivate authenticity, and prioritize depth over breadth in all areas of life. This is not an easy road. It requires courage to step away from societal expectations, discipline to reflect on one's true values, and strength to build a life that is unwavering in the face of external pressures. But the rewards are profound: clarity, resilience, and a confidence that no storm can shake. As you embark on this journey, remember that your worth is not determined by the number of people who applaud you, but by the integrity of the life you lead. True power comes from mastering your inner world, from standing firm in your convictions, and from walking your path with purpose, even when the world misunderstands your choices. The secure man is not one who avoids connection, but one who knows its true value, seeking quality over quantity and nurturing relationships that align with his highest self. This journey is not one you take alone. By choosing to grow, to challenge societal norms, and to cultivate a deeper understanding of yourself, you join a lineage of thinkers, leaders, and philosophers who have walked this path before you. Their wisdom is your guide, their lessons your compass, and their strength your encouragement. If this message resonates with you, know that your journey does not have to stop here. Our channel is dedicated to exploring the timeless teachings of Stoicism, ancient philosophy, and personal growth. By subscribing, you'll gain access to insights that will inspire, challenge, and empower you to become the best version of yourself. Let's walk this path together, building a community that values depth, authenticity, and the transformative power of wisdom. Subscribe now and take the next step toward mastering your inner world. Remember, the journey to unshakable strength begins with a single choice: the choice to live authentically, guided by purpose and unburdened by the noise of the world. The best version of yourself is waiting to be discovered. Will you take the first step?